While yes, IKEA furniture may come in a box that you can fit in your car, it has a function and that's it. It has no soul. The main complaint is its instability, the fact that you can't let any genuine weight bear on it. You can't spill water on it ever. The heirloom quality of the furniture is non-existent. Not to mention the fact that you may buy a side-end table. There was 60,000 of those made. And I'm just not really in the market of making 60,000 of anything. I think I have a little bit more of a intimate relationship with the materials that I do, just because I like everything from the tree to the furniture. You know, a lot of companies, they just take that, you know, like we need things done right now. So a lot of people don't have the time to take raw lumber and turn it into a piece of furniture. To see the soul of a tree just mulched and then glued back together in a piece of furniture that's just going to sit in a dorm room for the rest of its life, that may only be a couple of months, is sad to me. I romanticize the idea of handmade items. You know, letting that soul of the tree kind of live on past that is also important to us.
And how did you come up with the name Night Owl?
A very good friend of mine, we were sitting down one night and she was just kind of like, well, you know, like you're up all night. Most of the time, if anyone can't find you, you're in your shop. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I mean, you are a night owl. That's when I was kind of like, that's it, isn't it? If I don't pay attention to the clock, I had to get a clock for that reason. I'll be in here until 2 or 3 in the morning, and I still want to show back up at 7 or 8 every day. The whole process, it shouldn't be a headache, and that's the whole deal. You know, a lot of companies, they just take that, we need to go, we need to move, we need this done now. You know, I don't like rushing anything. Nobody likes being rushed, and the product is never good. Most of the time on timeline stuff, it really depends on sourcing the material. If you're looking for a 6 foot by 12 foot Clara walnut tabletop, it's going to take me a little while to find it. That doesn't mean I won't find it. But most of the time, if we can get the materials within a week or two, most projects we do in-house take only about a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the scale of the project and what all is involved. You know, I enjoy the camaraderie that comes along with working with an actual person. My favorite is literally handing my clients a pen and a paper and seeing what they have in their head. You can look at, pictures online all day. You can get renderings done, you can do 3D mapping, you can do all kinds of different stuff. But for whatever reason, I found that a simple pen and paper helps people portray what they have in their head so much more. And it's really funny how, they always start the conversation the same way. I'm not an artist. And then what ends up being on that piece of paper, I'm like, this is pretty good. A lot of times they're shocked. And I like that process. And I like to design so that it is not only aesthetic, but it's also sturdy. I like using old joinery. I like beefy pieces of wood. And so I try to make it so that you would have to try. You would have to really work to hurt that piece of furniture. But most of the time I say, 5 to 10 years, if we have a section of a table that breaks off, bring it back to us. I'll fix it. Once we get the design down and we get all of that solidified and they like it, I'll say, okay, let's come and pick out your wood. Let's come and pick out your materials. I like them to be there every step of the way. And the care that they see from just a slab of wood to the furniture in their living room is fantastic. And I always welcome people to, when I'm working on their project, you stop in the shop. Call me if I'm here, come by and see what we're doing. Right before we put finish on it, I invite them in and I'm like, so this is the piece with no finish. This is just raw wood. This is just raw joinery. This is the way that, very close to the way that it fell when we finally lay the piece down and put finish on it for the first time, every time they're just blown away. The look on their face when they're like, yeah, we picked that piece of wood up. We drew this on a piece of paper, and it's in our kitchen or our living room or our backyard now. I've done it hundreds of times, and I'm still blown